What's up guys, Ben back here with another video on the Focus ST. Tonight we're going to be going over the top 7 upgrades on the Focus ST. I've put almost all of them on my car, so I'm going to be able to give you an owner's review of what I think you should be doing first, second, last, and the reasons behind why I did them. There are going to be some upgrades I leave out, I'm sure, but put those in the comments below as to what you guys suggest and you've had success with on your Focus ST or your car in general. And then also any upgrades that you wouldn't suggest and that have given you and your car issues. Before we get that started, if you have an iPhone X, I was recently given a really nice case at work from OtterBox. If you want that, just put send me the case in the comments below. I'll pick one of you guys and I will send it out to you. Another thing to note is I am going to be changing the name of the channel here shortly. I'm going to be changing it to Jeeb. If you follow me on Facebook and you follow me on Twitter, you will see that I've already changed it there. Changing it on YouTube is going to be the final step. I'm going to be doing that fairly shortly. Just needed to change it up to something that was more relatable. And I didn't want to limit it to just automotive stuff, so I changed it to something that was a nickname that a lot of my friends and family friends call me, and that's going to be the change. But let's dive into the upgrades, the top 7 upgrades I think personally for the Focus ST. Aesthetically, I've left this car almost 100% stock. The windows on the car are tinted. They have SunTech CXP tint on them. I don't have anything on the windshield. The windshield is uncovered, and I didn't even get a clear bra for the car. If there's one thing that I regret, it's not getting a clear bra. That's something I should have done on this car because the front bumper is really beat up from the road. Now, if you live in a rural area, you're not in a lot of traffic, you're probably going to be okay. But out here in Phoenix, the debris that flies up off the road, there's stones, I've seen buckets, I've seen couches. You could literally put your living room together on the roads out here. It's insane. So I wish I would have gotten a clear bra. The first upgrade I did was the Mountoon air filter. If you haven't seen that video, check the description below and you can see that. Now, an air filter is a very simple install. A lot of people think it maybe doesn't even do anything, but the truth is I've felt some throttle response differences and a little bit of top-end power when accelerating with and without the air filter. The most notable thing that it does in this car, what it needs a lot when it's in stock form, is it needs better sound. And what the air filter does is it gives you a really nice induction sound. So let me just show you under the hood as to what I'm talking about with the air filter and why it gives you this induction sound. So regardless if you put it on with the end cap or without, oh God, we need aluminum hoods. So regardless if you put it on with or without the end cap, you are going to get more performance, but you're going to get the most performance when you have the end cap off. So you can see this is all open here. Now that does come to a point where it is protected. It doesn't mean like air's just sucked and that goes straight into the intake into the turbo. That's not how that works. There's a cap there, it's all protected. The Mountoon, who I bought it from, does sell an end cap, which I actually might get here shortly because there's so much dust out here that I think it's not a bad idea. But at the same time, you're not going to get the sound and you might get not quite as much performance as you would with the end cap open. Now, a lot of people are saying, don't you get dust? Don't you get all these things inside the intake? No, I don't. Every time I've taken this off and checked the intake hose right here, it's been totally clean, as it should be. The filter's doing its job. It's okay if the end cap is off. It's just another layer of protection, and it's also just to keep that sound down if maybe that's not something you want. Another thing I did here, and this is not on the top list, but I got this intake hose, just upgrading over stock, again from Mountoon, as you can see by the logo there. Basically, it just dresses up the engine bay. They said it gives you a more direct flow of air, but okay. The second thing that I suggest you do, and I'm doing these in order as if you bought the car and it's totally stock, this is how I think you should do it. So the second thing I think you should get would be a rear motor mount. The reason that's important on this car is because there's so much torque and power going through the front wheels, and there's no limited slip differential. And basically, when you're under heavy acceleration in first, sometimes second gear, you will get what is called wheel hop. So the wheels will actually bounce off the ground, and that is very hard on the axle. It's not good for the car at all. When I put in the rear motor mount, if you haven't seen that video, also in the description below, it made the power when you're shifting go straight down to the road. So I'll notice if I'm on the throttle too heavy and I need to get off of it a little bit, the wheels will just spin. They won't hop, they'll just spin. So it kind of trains you on how you should be accelerating in the car. Maybe make sure you're not using all the power all the time, but you're using it efficiently to get it down and make, you know, whether you're trying to set a track time or just get a good 0 to 60 time or something like that. Having a rear motor mount is going to help put that power down on the road and eliminate wheel hop. I also noticed that it made the shifts in the car a lot more crisp. I don't know how to describe it other than the thuds in and out of gears are just more sharp. So you just feel a more positive shifting experience, and the rear motor mount helped that a lot. And it's also not a very expensive upgrade. I got the one from Mountune. I did drive my friend AJ's car, and he has, I think it's called the CP2 mount. AJ, comment below which one you got. But I got the rear, and it's not bad, the one from Mountune, but his just felt better. It's a more expensive mount, so if you don't have quite the budget, the Mountune one is fine. But his just felt a lot more solid, and in his NVH, the noise vibration harshness, was not as bad. One of the downsides of getting this motor mount is the fact that you increase the NVH in the car. And I read as much as I could about it, but you can't really understand it until you get the car. So let me explain to you what that does. When you put this motor mount in, if you're not running AC, which I run AC as little as possible, even as hot as it is in Phoenix, I'd just rather go with the windows down because one, the throttle response is better, two, there's less NVH. And when you're sitting in the car basically with the AC on, everything is just shaking, and there's just it's almost like a drone, and you're just shaking, and it's very annoying to me. So as much as you say it only increases NVH a little bit, you can read that all you want, it's a decent amount. It's pretty harsh. But at the same time, you get the performance, and when I don't have AC on, I don't find it to be an issue at all, and I think it's worth the performance. So I'll leave that up to you guys to discuss and what you think. It's going to be personal preference. Some people really like it because they say it makes the car feel sportier and more powerful because it's sitting there kind of like rumbling. I'd prefer it to be totally smooth at idle. The third thing that I would tell you to put on your Focus ST is an exhaust. One thing with this car, I think the stock exhaust looks really cool. It has the hexagonal exit, the dual exit, and it's unique. It looks really cool, and it's a center outlet. But it is also very quiet, and basically you hear the sound symposer the whole time that you're driving or performance driving. Now, I have the Ford Performance Sport exhaust, and this thing, I don't think there's a better exhaust you can get for your Focus ST. I've gone over this a bunch of times. Of course, it's my opinion, but I really stand by it. So if you take a closer look here, and again, this is in, if you look in the description, I have a full video, but it says Ford Racing embroidered right there. On the underside of it, I don't know if you can see it, but it also says Ford Performance on the underside of the vehicle. There's no drone with this exhaust. It has a muffler in the back. It has an OEM fit and finish, and the sound is excellent. Ford did, I think, a collaboration with Borla. I'm almost 100% sure they did, with Borla on building the exhaust, fitting it, and then it's also warranted through Ford. It's something that they will install at the dealership. Now, an exhaust is not something that's going to cause warranty issues. I can't imagine what would happen for an exhaust to do that, but it's an excellent exhaust. It's loud when you want it to be, and it's also, it just doesn't have the drone. That's what everyone worries about with a sports exhaust or an aftermarket exhaust, is they're going to get the drone. With this exhaust, I promise you will not have it. When you're on the throttle, it sounds sporty, it's great. It has burbles, overrun. It sounds so good. It really brings this car to life. So I highly recommend this specific exhaust. But you know, some people don't want to spend that much. Some people just like other looks better. I like how it fills out the back. It has an OEM finish. I can't say enough about it. Another video that I did was on the recirculation valve. And a lot of people ask me, why didn't I get a blow-off valve? And the reason for that is the highest quality part that I could find seemed to be the mound tune part. It just seemed to have the best fit and finish, and I knew down the road eventually that I was going to get a tune. Upgrading from the stock one, which is just a plastic part with a spring in it, if you're doing running higher boost, or you have a tune or something, if you're not running stock power, that is one of the first things that can fail on you. And when you take this part off your car, you can see exactly why. It's just a little piece of plastic, really. I upgraded the Recirc valve, which, again, check the description for the link to that video. It's right up behind here. Again, something that was made by Mound Tune. It's just a much better built part than the manufacturer did from the factory. And if you're going to be pushing more than stock power, more than stock boost, I think that's something that you should put in place to protect your car, protect your engine for that type of power. Another thing that I just did here recently was upgrade the tires on my Focus ST. If you're buying this car in some southern states, if you're buying it in California, Florida, Arizona, Texas, they are going to have Goodyear Eagle F1s on them. I noticed when I was back home in Pittsburgh that they had Pirelli tires. It was more of an all-season, high performance all-season tire. So I don't have an experience with that tire. I'm sure some of you got it on your ST, but basically I just replaced the tires on it. Now the Eagle F1s that came on this car were excellent. I have nothing bad I can say about them. But these Firestones that I recently put on here, the Firehawk Indy 500s, are extremely aggressive and been an excellent performance tire for me. They're not very loud. Well, they're no louder or maybe even quieter than the ones that came on the car. They have excellent grip, better performance. Again, check the description for that video. I did an install and I've done already a 1,000-mile review on them. Highly recommend them. Now, if you're someone that lives in an area where you need all-season tires, keep the Pirellis on, and if you want to step up to a more aggressive tire, I highly recommend these, but they do need to be used in the summer. Do not be using these in the middle of December and then come back to me when your car is at the bottom of a ditch. Recently, I also put a tune on the car. I got the Focus ST performance calibration, and that is made by Ford in Ford Performance. Now, one thing that you know I am consistent with, what the fuck? Just found a door ding, or someone wiped their door right beside mine. Son of a bitch. So recently I got this upgrade from Ford Performance. Now it upgrades your torque from 270 foot-pounds, another 90 to 360 foot-pounds. Now that is on 93 octane. Unfortunately, I don't have 93 octane out here in Arizona, so we have to stick to 91. It also came with this awesome sticker in the pack, and that's why you get the 90 horsepower, because of the sticker right here. It's pretty sweet. Again, all of the upgrades that I've done, the exhaust, the valve, the filter, all that stuff was in preparation for eventually putting a tune on the car. Couldn't decide which one I wanted to go with. Finally, they came out with a newer calibration, and that's just what I went with. And it was also really nice of Ford, because I was making the video, they let me install it myself, and they honored my warranty. They're not gonna, there was a special exception there because of all the videos that I make on the Focus ST, so don't expect that. But you can, the fact that Ford makes a tune that you can, or they like to call it a calibration, they're very proud of that. But the fact that Ford makes something that they will warranty is so cool to me, and I don't think there's another manufacturer out there that will do that. So kudos to Ford Performance. This tune has been excellent though. I mean, because a lot of other tunes are all about, or this calibration, I'm even calling it a tune. A lot of other tunes are all about top end power and this high end numbers. But what this does is this gives you a more usable power band. So I'm getting max power and max torque way earlier than I was before. So when I floor the car, yes, I get up to speed quicker, but I don't feel like an extra push of power coming on because there's more top end power. It still has 252 horsepower, but it now has way more torque. And eventually I'm gonna get it dynoed to see just how much, but I think it's probably well over 300 foot-pounds of torque, which for this car is incredible. Another thing to note, and this probably has to do with me getting the tires that I have on it, but the torque steer did not increase with the tune. So that's another video that I'm gonna make because a lot of people are thinking the torque steer is gonna be insane now, but really it hasn't changed at all. The other tune out there that I would recommend is the one from Mountoon. It's the MP275 package. Now a lot comes with that. That's intercooler, there's some charge pipes, there's all kinds of stuff that comes with the MP275 package. And the reason for that I recommend it is because, again, that's something that Ford will warranty, whether you get it done at Mountoon or if you get it down at a Ford certified facility where they can do the upgrades and warranty them. But at the same time, if you're not worried about your warranty, which sometimes I think I overdo that, if you're not worried about it, I just think their engineers are going to be the closest to Ford performance because they have a racing heritage with Ford. So that they have a rally heritage. That's where that partnership started with Mountoon. So that's why I would recommend that over anything else. Companies like Cobb, things like that, they make such a wide variety of products that I wouldn't recommend going with them if you're tuning your ST. Mountoon, Ford Performance, they're so much more focused on the ST, whereas Cobb is doing stuff for Subaru, Mitsubishi, Mercedes. I mean, anything Cobb has their hands on it. Not to say that they're a bad company, they're not at all, they're excellent, but that's my personal opinion. Now my final recommendation, the seventh thing that I haven't even done yet to this car, it could be coming in the future, was putting a limited slip differential on your car. I had a helical limited slip differential that came with my Honda Civic Si. I had a 2011 Civic Si Coupe before I had this, and that car was excellent. It came with a limited slip differential, and when you're taking sharp turns, you can just feel the power being transferred back and forth. Whichever tire has the most grip, that's what's getting the power. This does not have that. So if it did, the cornering on this car would just be a little more intelligent. Sometimes when you're taking a sharp turn, it does have brake vectoring, which is kind of stupid, but basically what brake vectoring does is it pinches an inside tire and lets the car rotate around. So I mean, it's not stupid, but it's not as effective as a limited slip differential, which would cost Ford more money to build the car or put on the car, but I think it would be worth it in the end. And another thing to note that's exciting is for the next Focus ST, I think they're going to have a limited slip differential. The reason I say that is because the new Fiesta ST, the 2018, maybe it's 2019, has that on it. Unfortunately, that's not coming to the United States, but it gives me hope. If they're putting that on the Fiesta, it's going to be on the Focus. So that is exciting. But I just haven't done it yet. It's a $1,000 upgrade, and I don't know if I want to dump that money into a limited slip differential that I'm rarely going to get to use. All the roads out here in Phoenix are pretty much a grid. It's straight back, straight through. There are some canyon roads, but you do have to drive to them. So for that reason, I doubt I'll get it unless Mountoon wants to send me one. Those are my recommendations. Interested to see what you guys have to say in the comments below. Again, I'm going to be continuing to make more in-depth videos on my car. The 30,000 mile review is going to be coming up soon. We're just under 30,000 miles. It's crazy how quickly put miles on the car, but I actually just cleaned up the engine bay here. Basically, this was all, I mean, there's so much dust out here, I can't even explain, but yeah, looks really good right now. I'm proud of myself. Basically, I used Chemical Guy stuff, and I can make a video on, actually I will do that. I'll make a video on all of my detailing equipment that I have. Car's kind of a mess right now, but I diluted this degreaser that's perfect. Now it's perfect for like plastics and things like that, and if you dilute it even more, you can use it on the interior. That's a different video, but interested to see what you guys have to say about this. If you haven't already, please like the video, please subscribe to the channel. If we haven't already, we're very close to 6,000 subscribers. We probably have already done that. I've been watching it carefully, but I really want to grow this channel to over 100,000 subscribers. So I appreciate all your support. Thank you for watching the video. Subscribe if you're not already subscribed. Like the video. Take a look at some of my other videos too. I've covered this car inside and out. I have news, I have reviews, and I think you guys will enjoy the content, especially if you're still watching me right now. That means you like this video, so like it. Okay. Thank you all for watching, and we will see you next time.